Hey everyone, this here is Speedyfighter. Hope everyone is doing good today. I'm bringing you another video. This time it's my first movie review, and it's a review on a movie I've been anticipating for like 2 years now, which was Captain America: Civil War. Now, the reason I've been anticipating it was I enjoyed Captain America: Winter Soldier. I think it was arguably my favorite Marvel superhero movie, or it's between that, Guardians of the Galaxy, and Avengers. I might have to put Guardians of the Galaxy as my top one before this movie, but Winter Soldier was really up there. So I was definitely excited because of that reason. I was also excited because I've heard a lot about the Civil War storyline, and it's a very interesting storyline, of course. And then to top it off, so many different superheroes in this one movie battling each other. I just thought the concept was just phenomenal. So that's why I was so excited for it. And I'll start off by telling you that this movie did not disappoint me at all. Not even a little bit. This movie was amazing. The action was great. There was a nice emotional impact to the movie, and the pacing for the most part was excellent as well. There's a few mistakes here and there. I mean, a few flaws, I guess you could say, but everything has a few flaws. So I'll definitely get more in depth into all my flaws and all the positives, but definitely enjoyed the movie. Now, real quick, I'm just going to talk about the gameplay. It's actually, as you can see, Black Ops 3 Domination, which is definitely my favorite game mode. If you did not know, I play Domination all the time. And it's actually on my favorite map, which is Combine. Definitely not Nuketown. I do love Nuketown. I think Nuketown's a great map, but it's Combine is my favorite map for sure. And I'm actually using the Weevil, which was buffed in a recent patch, and I did make a video on the recent weapon balance patch. So if you want to check it out, I'll probably have an annotation pop up that links you to the video, and then you can see what happens to the Weevil, what got buffed about the Weevil. But yeah, I don't use the Weevil often, so it end up having a pretty good gameplay with it, even though I'm not used to it too much. It's a good gun. It's not hard to get used to, don't get me wrong, but it's a really good gun, especially after the buffs. Definitely recommend picking it up and utilizing it for sure. And anyways, so back to the movie. So yeah, I'm not gonna have any spoilers in this review. I may make a movie talking about spoilers, but probably not. I mean, preferably try not to discuss any spoilers in the comment section unless you put like a big spoiler tag. I would prefer you not to talk about any spoilers. But yeah, I'm not gonna have any spoilers. So if you haven't seen the movie, don't worry. This review is spoiler free. But yeah, so the movie was amazing. It starts off really strong, nice action scene. I find that all Marvel superhero movies, I think all superhero movies in general, they like to start off strong with a good action scene. Definitely not the best one, but usually has like one really good action scene at the start. Then you have one huge action scene, usually in the middle of the movie, and then one like more climactic action scene at the end. And this definitely followed that trope for sure, but it's not a bad thing. Definitely, the movie, I wouldn't say that it gets 10 stars for or 10 out of 10 for originality or anything like that. That's for sure. I'm not saying that I'm reviewing it 10 out of 10. Stay tuned till the end of the video and you'll see my review out of 10 for sure. But it definitely is a pretty amazing movie, and I'd say to an extent flawless to some extent. There's definitely a little bit like a minor flaw, but that's about it. And so one of the most interesting things about this movie was the character and the character list. Now you had Captain America, you have Iron Man, you have Scarlet Witch, Vision, you have a ton of characters, Ant-Man, Hawkeye, a ton of characters you're used to now. But then we have a couple new characters. Well, one new character in particular, which is Black Panther, which I thought Black Panther was amazing. He had that dark, brooding, menacingness to him. I thought his costume was really cool, awesome, like almost like a Batman-esque essence to him, I guess, to just kind of like give you an image. But yeah, his costume was awesome. The actor who played him, I think, was just nailed it, man. I think he nailed it like phenomenally. I don't know who he is. I don't think he's really well known, but I'm sure he will become well known soon, especially when that standalone Black Panther movie does come out. But yeah, he was one of my favorite additions to the Marvel movie universe for sure. And then the second one, which in reality is not a new Marvel movie character, like he's definitely appeared on screen before, and that's Spider-Man. Now, Tom Holland as Spider-Man just nailed it, man. I think he's the best Spider-Man on screen I've seen. Now, I love Tobey Maguire as Spider-Man and Spider-Man 1 and 2. I think those are great movies. I think Tobey Maguire killed it as Peter Parker, and I think he did a good job as Spider-Man himself. So I definitely, I don't think the bar is that low like people say. Like I didn't really like Andrew Garfield as Spider-Man, but I thought Tobey Maguire was a Spider-Man to definitely compete the beat, right? I think he was the best one personally. But after this performance with Tom Holland, I think it's if he does as good of a job in the small maybe 20 minutes of the movie he's in, I think he's in the standalone movie. He's gonna kill it. It's gonna be the best Spider-Man movie for sure. So I know it's supposed to be called Spider-Man Homecoming. So I'm definitely looking forward to that. But yeah, Spider-Man killed it. He stood out. I think he was a standout in every scene he's in. He was just the guy I was watching all the time. He just stood out. And now, at the same time, I'm a little biased. I love Spider-Man. He's my second favorite Marvel superhero behind Wolverine. So I'm a little biased in that sense, but he still killed it. I think he killed it as Spider-Man. I can't believe it. As Peter Parker as well. So that was really awesome. And there was this one really awesome action scene that I'm sure you've heard in other reviews, and you kind of get a glimpse of it in the trailer, and that's the airport battle scene where the 6-on-6 goes on, and man, that action scene was phenomenal. And yeah, it showed Spider-Man being as awesome as he can be. Black Panther kicking ass. You had Captain America, Iron Man. Everyone was on point. And Ant-Man. I'm just gonna throw it out there. Ant-Man was I never seen the Ant-Man movie, which I need to go watch. Now after seeing this movie, I'm gonna go watch Ant-Man for sure. But man, Paul Rudd as Ant-Man, holy was he cool. He's hilarious too. Like him and Spider-Man were like the comedy relief of the movie, in my opinion. I mean, of course you have Iron Man, Tony Stark as like that slight comedy release every now and then, but Ant-Man and Spider-Man were just phenomenal together, man. It was crazy to see them together. And yeah, so all I'll say is just stay tuned and get ready for that airport fight scene. And if you're an Ant-Man fan, I think you're going to be very satisfied with how that fight goes and how Ant-Man performs in that fight for sure. But yeah, so that was an amazing scene. That was probably one of the best fight scenes I think I've seen in the Marvel superhero universe as far as the movies go. Now, and that's saying a lot because the Hulk wasn't even part of it, and Thor wasn't part of it either, right? So that was kind of cool. And yeah, and then we kind of delve a little further into the movie. And like I said, I'm not going to talk about the ending or any spoilers, but I'm just going to say that the probably the third chapter of the movie is something that's I think a little bit different than most Marvel movies, in my opinion. And I think DC movies have always done this a little bit better, and I think it's because they've tried to, and that's having an emotional impact. Now, the third act of this movie, I think, really hits home, and it makes you like this whole movie. The whole time, you're gonna be like, you have Team Captain America, you have Team Iron Man. And I know that was like the slogan, the taglines. That was like an advertising gig, but like in reality, it is true. Like there was two teams. Like who do you prefer, right? And I was going in expecting to be Team Captain America and thinking Team Captain America is going to be the good guys because it's Captain America. He's pure and innocent, right? But it's really, you'll find out watching the movie that who knows. It's hard to say which side is good and bad and which side is right and wrong. They both have their rights, they both have their wrongs. And that's what I loved about this movie. It definitely wasn't as one-sided as I was expecting. It wasn't as predictable as I was expecting as well. And yeah, the third act has a big emotional punch, and I'm not going to tell you why it becomes emotional, and it's nothing to do with a mother's name Martha, that's for sure. I'm sure you all know what I'm talking about. But yeah, I love that, and I think that's what Marvel needs a little bit more as well. They do action well. They like to throw in those little comedy bits, and they did it really well. Sometimes it's really cheesy, but in this movie it was really done well. But they need to balance it out with the darkness of superheroes as well, because there is a darkness to them too. It's not a happy-go-lucky world, man. When you're a superhero, it's not always a happy-go-lucky. Don't get me wrong, I'd love to be a superhero, but there's still that dark side to being a superhero as well, and they definitely portrayed it as well, and you'll definitely sympathize with both Captain America and Iron Man for sure. But yeah, the movie was amazing. If I'm gonna give it a score on a scale of 1 to 10, it's gonna be a 9.4 out of 10. Now, action was phenomenal. It had a nice emotional impact, which I was surprised by. All the characters were excellent, especially Black Panther, Ant-Man, and Spider-Man. In my opinion, those three really stood out the most. And it was just an overall great roller coaster ride, and I think it's the best Marvel superhero movie out there. I think it might even top Guardians of the Galaxy for me, but barely tops Guardians of the Galaxy, because Guardians of the Galaxy was amazing. Like honestly, that movie was phenomenal. If you haven't seen that movie because you thought it looked weird, go watch that movie, please. But it definitely beats out Avengers 1 for me, and it definitely beats out the previous Captain America, the Winter Soldier, for sure. Definitely the best Captain America. That's no doubt. I don't think anyone's gonna disagree with me on that. But yeah, I also do think it's my favorite Marvel movie. Now maybe I literally just watched it like an hour ago, so maybe I'm just jumping off the hype bandwagon, or just the excitement of the movie. But I do think I'll probably stand by it even a week from now. So yeah, so definitely gonna give it a 9.4 out of 10. Now you're probably saying, well, why a 9.4? You seem like you just loved it. Why isn't it like a 10, or why isn't it at least closer to a 10? I mean, don't get me like 9.4 is pretty close, but it had one flaw for me personally, and maybe others will disagree. I'm sure that you will. If you do disagree, write in the comments and write why you disagree. But it's that I thought the pacing at certain points was a little slow. I feel like the movie could have ended about 20 minutes earlier. I feel like it was 20 minutes longer than it needed to be. Now, like I said, it was not like, it wasn't like dragging on, but it was the pacing definitely had some like really big dips in my mind. But that was the only flaw, and that's the only reason why it's a 9.4 instead of being even higher, right? So, again, best Marvel movie of the year. I don't. Oh, well, you know what? I actually completely forgot it about. I always forget that Deadpool is a Marvel movie for some reason, but it's tough to say. But I think now that I'm remembering Deadpool was such a good movie. So I still think it's the best Marvel movie, but Deadpool and Guardians of the Galaxy are very close behind it for sure. So definitely run to the theaters, go see it. I'm sure I don't have to tell you to go to the theaters and see it. It's definitely not a Batman versus Superman flop. Don't worry about that. Like I was definitely very disappointed with Batman v Superman, just like a lot of people. And I'm a huge Batman fan. I'm a huge DC Comics fan as well. So it was tough for me to say that. But if you're a Marvel fan, if you're into action movies, you're into superhero movies, you're into just exciting, good acting movies, go watch Captain America: Civil War because the acting's phenomenal, the action's phenomenal, has a nice emotional punch. It's not straightforward like a lot of other superhero movies. Like there's just one bad guy. This movie, what was interesting in this movie is it wasn't like there's one bad guy like Ultron. It was like you had two sides that were full of good guys, and they're both good sides. But it's like they just were in disagreement, and it's like which side do you want to side with, right? Kind of thing. And I thought that made it way more interesting than your typical superhero movies where it's just like you got the good guys versus the bad guys. This you have two good guys in disagreement going at it, and that was awesome for me. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. Again, I give this movie a 9.4 out of 10. Go see it as soon as you can. Don't wait till it's on DVD. You need to see this in theaters. And yeah, if you enjoyed, make sure you leave a comment. Let me know why you enjoyed it. Also, let me know what you thought of the movie as well. Leave a like as well, and make sure to subscribe for more movie reviews as well as more video game content and TV show content as well, specifically more Game of Thrones content. So hope you enjoyed the video, everyone. Take care and peace out.